Okay, welcome back. This is Mr. Truss here, and what I'm going to be doing is kind of illustrating how to set up your drafting board and start a title block. So if you can remember yesterday, we went over a couple tools that are in your tool pouch. We went over 30-60-90 triangle. We went over the 45-90 triangle. The 2H pencil, which is the greater density lead, that's going to give you light lines. And then your standard number 2, which is your HB. Followed by an architectural scale that has a number of divisions of space, basically 1 inch divided into 16s. We have basically 3/4 of an inch divisions, 3/32 of an inch divisions, and so forth. Okay, they're used for scaling objects up and down, which we'll learn about later. And then we also have the drafting dots or masking tape. Okay. So what we're going to do is set up our board with our title block paper, our document, and there's a couple things you want to do to make sure your board is ready. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your parallel bar, slide it back and forth, and make sure it can freely move. If it can't, don't force it because you'll create a bigger problem than you currently have. Most likely it has something to do with these knobs. So if this is tight, I can't move it in any position, okay? So what I'm going to do is release by turning the right one backwards and the left one forwards, okay? And then the other direction, the right one forwards tightens and then the left one backwards tightens. So they work in opposites because they're on opposite sides of the board. So loosen it so that it can slide nicely, but it's not sloppy. Also, these knobs here will apply downward pressure. If it's too loose or too tight, adjust these, but they will come out if you overextend them. Make sure your bar is parallel to the top edge of your paper. Your top edge of your board. If it's not, we've gone over adjusting, and I'll help you do that. There's no need for a video, at least at this time. Think about where you're going to be drawing. I'm going to be drawing more up here. Put my elbows and my arms down here. So at this time, put your document. You can kind of hear this. Should rest on the plastic edge of your parallel bar. And you're going to take either 4 drafting dots or masking tape. And you're going to fix one corner. So it's going to be on the board. Hold it down and get one corner. Keep it from rocking like this. You wouldn't want to tape it down now because your drawing will be crooked onto the paper. So once again, it's on the drafting board. It's on the parallel bar edge. I have one corner fixed. This allows me to rotate it if I need any fine adjustments. Hold it into position and fix. Slide this down and repeat. Make sure there's no folds or creases in the paper. Make sure that the edges of your drafting dot are not curled or they're paper, because as you slide this is going to peel it off and it's going to get stuck underneath your parallel bar. And then that'll cause issues. Your sticky material underneath the tape will slide and rub off on your paper and create a nasty, nasty mark that you can't get rid of. Okay, so there's a whiteboard that has the measurements that I'm going to be using. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is doing a couple measurements to create my title block. I have my architecture scale. Put my 0 on the edge of the paper. I'm going to measure in 1/2 inch. And that's going to give me my vertical line, and I'm going to do the same thing downwards. I'm just going to use the edge of my ruler. I'm going to go to 1/2 inch. Doesn't matter if I'm in 7. I'm just measuring 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm going to do the same over here. Put this on a whole integer. Then go in 1/2 inch. This is going to be a vertical line. This is going to be a vertical line. That's going to be a horizontal line. I just need to do one more here for horizontal bottom. So I'm going to put this on the bottom edge of my paper. There it is. There's the 11. I'm going to go up 1/2 inch. There's my mark. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to start top down. It's not to smudge my lines. I'm going to create a horizontal line here to here. Sorry, I bumped the camera. Okay. If you notice, I also rotated my pencil, rolled it in my fingers as I drew the line. That's going to keep a sharp tip. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do it from the bottom edge of the parallel bar. I'm going to start approximately here. I'm holding down with my left hand. I'm going to go across. Okay. Now obviously I'm going to use one of my triangles in conjunction with my parallel bar to create the vertical lines. I'm going to put this here. And I can see that I can connect. There's my half-inch mark. Connect. Flip. Don't drag. Half-inch mark. Slide down. Okay. So I have a border. This is where you could either take an eraser right now and kind of erase these corners, or we can do it later. We're going to measure 1 inch up for our title block space. So we're going to kind of put our ruler here. We're going to make a mark at 11. Now my parallel bar, because it's parallel, conveniently can connect these points. Okay, we can divide this horizontal space up as specified on the whiteboard, but let's divide this into sections, 4 equal sections. This is 17 inches, and this is 11. So in terms of 17 horizontal inches, we have 16 because I took half of an inch away from both sides. So half of 16 would be 8. We're going to measure over an 8-inch measurement. Put on 0. You can see where the 8 is. I'm just going to make one little mark. And that's going to be where my title block top is going to meet to the top of the quadrant. Go here. Okay, we have two equal sides. We're going to have these. Okay, if we have 1 inch taken away from the 11, we're down to 10. An inch here as well taken away. Now we're down to 9. Half of 9 is 4.5 inches. We are going to measure out 4.5 inches. Put on the 0, come down to 4, and here's your half mark. Little mark. Bring this up and over. For your parallel bar, hold it down in place. Go across one direction and the other direction. Okay, title block is just about done. In terms of dividing this, we're going to go over 3, then 2. So I'm going to make a mark at 3 inches. I'm going to make a mark at 2 inches. I'm also going to do 6 inches and bring it across, and that's where we're going to stop. Whatever we have left, we have left. 3, 2, 6. And we're going to take our triangle. Here's our 3. Here's our 2. And here's our 6. Okay. At this point, you're going to take your HB pencil, your number 2 standard, and you're going to darken in the lines that you want to keep. So at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to put your pencil on the intersections of where we are beforehand, slide your tool up to it, and like I said, you're going to kind of like roll your pencil and only stop where you need to. Don't go over, because at this point your lines are darker. Okay? You're going to keep doing this to all your horizontal lines. I'm going to work my way top down so I don't drag. Pardon my head if it's in the view. We're going to find this corner. Bring it right across. Bring this down. Find this corner, this intersection. Bring it across. Last horizontal line. Now I'm picking up my bar and sliding it too, because if I drag it across my document, it's going to smudge it. So at that point, what you can see is the horizontal line. Now we have to focus on the verticals. I'm going to come over here. You're going to get better with this over time. And we're here. Straight down. Now I went over on purpose just to show now that that is going to be a problem to erase. I'm just going to circle it as a mistake. Okay? You want to be careful because it can happen to anybody, especially if you're looking up or someone's talking to you. You want to try to be as perfect as possible. I have this line. Slide this over. lines are thicker too, so they should kind of completely go on top of your H2, I'm sorry, your 2H pencil marks. Okay, so the title block is basically done. I would circle here and say that there's a gap and there's a problem. There's a little tail sticking off here. Other than that, it's a pretty good looking title block. So as you know, this is your top, and then your asymmetric. Okay, so the next videos may talk about maintenance or whatnot, but at least this kind of illustrates how to set up your title block. Have a good day.